Hello friends, welcome back to Technique. Today we'll be doing the detailed camera review of the new mid-range device from Moto, the Moto Edge 50 Neo. So this device has created a huge buzz in the market, especially in the sub 25,000 price segment with IP68 rating, wireless charging, military grade certification, very compact form factor, LTPO display, a proper telephoto lens included, triple camera setup. So these are things which are relatively unknown in the sub 25,000 price segment. So in this video, we will be specifically talking about the cameras on the Moto Edge 50 Neo 5G. So let's begin the camera review of the Moto Edge 50 Neo 5G. So before that, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. First, let's have a look at the hardware. Now, the primary camera is a 50 megapixel Sony Lightyear sensor, f1.8 aperture. It's a Sony Lightyear 700C sensor, f1.8 aperture. There is optically made stabilization included, and the secondary camera is a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, f2.2 aperture, and the third camera is a 3x telephoto lens. It's a 10 megapixel shooter with once again optical image stabilization included. So it's a really good triple camera setup on this device. And on the front panel, you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera. So in paper, the hardware looks really good for the price segment it is being offered. So let's go deep into the camera samples to see how it performs. So first, let's have a look at the daylight captures. Now looking at the daylight captures, you can see here the colors are pretty much natural looking. The dynamic range looks nice and wide. The sharpness levels from the 50 megapixel shooter looks quite good. Now the good thing about this camera is the color accuracy. It looks pretty good in terms of colors. You can also go with the richer tones, but we are gone with the natural mode and it looks pretty good as well. So colors are pretty much natural and the sharpness levels and dynamic range also looks good. So overall, the primary camera does a pretty good job here in terms of daylight captures, and this is a camera which will work pretty well. And when it comes to ultra wide, the 13 megapixel shooter is quite good once again. The color accuracy seems pretty much similar from the primary camera, and there isn't much of a difference in terms of colors. Now when it comes to telephoto, the 3x telephoto does pretty good job. Once again, the sharpness levels are pretty good, but colors are slightly different from the primary and the ultra wide, but not a major concern though. Overall, the quality of the telephoto lens, the 3x telephoto lens, looks pretty good. Now you can also take macro captures with the ultra wide angle camera. So there is a dedicated 13 megapixel macro mode included, and it produces pretty good results actually. Although the images are slightly warmer at times, but most of the macro shots came out quite good, and this is definitely a good macro camera in this price segment. Let's move on to the portraits. Now you can take portraits in 24, 35, 50 and 85 mm focal length, and this is basically using the different focal length from the three lenses, and the portraits looks pretty much natural. Once again, looks pretty good. The skin tones are mostly accurate and the colors are a bit contrasty in nature, but nevertheless the portrait looks good and the edge detection also looks good. But when it comes to 3x portraits, there is a slight color shift actually. The skin tones become a bit more warmer. You can actually see the change in tone, but nevertheless overall the portrait looks good and the edge detection is once again pretty much done well. So this is something which can be fixed with software updates, but overall the portraits came out pretty good. Now when it comes to low light captures, you can once again see that in indoor low light conditions the images came out quite well, and when it comes to outdoor low light, it's better to turn on the night mode, and you can see that the images are pretty much clear, devoid of noise, and although there is a bit of lens flare issue, but the overall quality of the image looks good. There is good amount of sharpness levels as well. So at this price segment, the camera performs pretty well in terms of low light experience as well. Now next, let's move on to the selfie camera. Now the 32 megapixel selfie camera once again has very much natural tone, pretty much good overall in terms of sharpness levels and skin tones, and the dynamic range also looks quite good. But once again, the colors are slightly shifting when it comes to different lighting conditions. At times it is slightly warmer in tone, but overall the portraits from the selfie camera looks quite good. Once again, there is a slight color shift when it comes to some of the portrait shots of the selfie camera. Now moving on to the 4K 30 FPS footage, you can see that the footage looks good. There is good colors and dynamic range, but the stabilization is not really that perfect, although there is a bit of shake with the 4K footage. Now the phone can also do 1080p 60 fps. The results are similar, although the colors and dynamic range looks good. The stabilization is not done perfectly, so you can see that while moving footages there is a bit of disturbances and shake happening with the OIS available. So now the 1080p 30 fps once again has similar experience. The footage is not that well stabilized. This could be improved with updates. Although the camera has OIS, the stabilization needs a bit more fine tuning. So this is the 4K sample taken using the selfie camera. That is 32 megapixel selfie camera, and you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is. So this is the full HD 60 fps footage taken using the selfie camera on the Moto H50 Neo. So that is a detailed camera review of the Moto H50 Neo 5G. So overall we would say Moto has done quite a good job with the colors. Colors are pretty much natural, although the consistency needs a bit more fine tuning. The availability of a telephoto lens and a proper ultra wide angle camera along with macro makes the camera a sweet deal at this price segment. Although there are some areas where it needs fixing with updates, especially the video recording, where the stabilization was not that well done. So that was the detailed camera review. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do let us know what do you guys think about the cameras on this device in the comment section. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.